Question 1. In what year did the Romans first invade Britain? A. 55 BC. B. 1066 AD. C. 1215 AD. D. 43 AD. Answer. A. 55 BC. The Romans first invaded Britain in 55 BC under the command of Julius Caesar. Question 2. What is the significance of the Magna Carta in British history? A. It established the House of Commons. B. It granted independence to the American colonies. C. It limited the powers of the monarch and laid the foundation for the modern democratic system. D. It declared English as the official language of England. Answer. C. It limited the powers of the monarch and laid the foundation for the modern democratic system. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, is significant because it limited the king's power and laid the groundwork for modern democracy. Question 3. Who was the British monarch during the Spanish Armada's attempted invasion in 1588? A. Queen Victoria. B. Queen Elizabeth I. C. King Henry VIII. D. King James I. Answer. B. Queen Elizabeth I. Queen Elizabeth I was the monarch during the Spanish Armada's attempted invasion in 1588. Question 4. Can you name the era during which the English Civil War took place? A. Victorian era. B. Elizabethan era. C. Stuart era. D. Tudor era. Answer. C. Stuart era. The English Civil War took place during the Stuart era, specifically from 1642 to 1651. Question 5. Who was the first Prime Minister of Great Britain? A. Winston Churchill. B. Sir Robert Walpole. C. Margaret Thatcher. D. William Pitt. Answer. B. Sir Robert Walpole. Sir Robert Walpole is considered the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, serving from 1721 to 1742. Question 6. Describe the purpose of the Act of Union 1707. A. To establish the Bank of England. B. To unite England and Scotland into a single sovereign state known as Great Britain. C. To grant independence to Wales. D. To form the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Answer. B. To unite England and Scotland into a single sovereign state known as Great Britain. The Act of Union 1707 united the kingdoms of England and Scotland into the Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 7. What were the main causes of the Industrial Revolution in Britain? A. The discovery of the New World. B. The signing of the Magna Carta. C. Advances in agricultural practices, the presence of natural resources, and technological innovations. D. The establishment of the Commonwealth. Answer. C. Advances in agricultural practices, the presence of natural resources, and technological innovations were the main causes of the Industrial Revolution in Britain. Question 8. Who was ruling England when the American Declaration of Independence was signed? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King George III. C. King Henry VIII. D. King Edward III. Answer B. King George III. King George III was the monarch of Great Britain during the signing of the American Declaration of Independence in 1776. Question 9. Name the battle in which Admiral Nelson was killed. A. Battle of Waterloo. B. Battle of Trafalgar. C. Battle of the Bulge. D. Battle of Britain. Answer B. Battle of Trafalgar. Admiral Nelson was killed in the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805. Question 10. What is the significance of the Reform Act of 1832 in British history? A. It abolished the slave trade. B. It granted women the right to vote. C. It extended the right to vote and reformed the British parliamentary system. D. It established the National Health Service. Answer C. It extended the right to vote and reformed the British parliamentary system. The Reform Act of 1832 is significant for extending the franchise and reforming the electoral system of England and Wales. Question 11. Who was the British monarch during the Crimean War? A. Queen Victoria. B. Queen Elizabeth II. C. King George V. D. King Edward VII. Answer A. Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was the British monarch during the Crimean War, 1853 to 1856. Question 12. What was the impact of the English Bill of Rights, 1689, on the monarchy and Parliament? A. It made Parliament the supreme legal authority. B. It established the Church of England. C. It ended the War of the Roses. D. It declared English as the official language of England. Answer A. It made Parliament the supreme legal authority. The English Bill of Rights, 1689, is important for making Parliament the supreme authority and limiting the powers of the monarchy. Question 13. Can you name the scientist who developed the theory of evolution by natural selection? A. Isaac Newton. B. Albert Einstein. C. Charles Darwin. D. Stephen Hawking. Answer C. Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin developed the theory of evolution by natural selection, published in his book On the Origin of Species in 1859. Question 14. Which British monarch is associated with the Victorian era? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. Queen Victoria. C. King Edward VII. D. King George III. Answer B. Queen Victoria. The Victorian era is named after Queen Victoria, who reigned from 1837 to 1901. Question 15. Describe the main objectives of the Chartists. A. To restore the monarchy. B. To advance the rights of the working class and secure universal male suffrage. C. To abolish the House of Lords. D. To establish the National Health Service. Answer B. To advance the rights of the working class and secure universal male suffrage. The Chartists were a working-class movement for political reform in Britain that sought to gain political rights and influence for the working classes. Question 16. Who was the British Prime Minister at the start of World War I? A. Winston Churchill. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Herbert Asquith. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer C. Herbert Asquith. Herbert Asquith was the British Prime Minister at the start of World War I in 1914. Question 17. What was the purpose of the Statute of Westminster 1931? A. To grant independence to American colonies. B. To establish the Commonwealth of Nations. C. To give legal recognition to the de facto independence of the Dominions. D. To unite England and Scotland. Answer C. To give legal recognition to the de facto independence of the Dominions. The Statute of Westminster 1931 is significant for giving legal recognition to the autonomy of the Dominions of the British Empire. Question 18. What event marked the beginning of World War II for Britain? A. The invasion of Poland by Germany. B. The signing of the Treaty of Versailles. C. The Battle of Britain. D. The Dunkirk evacuation. Answer A. The invasion of Poland by Germany. Britain declared war on Germany after its invasion of Poland in 1939, marking the beginning of World War II for Britain. Question 19. Who was the British monarch at the start of the 20th century? A. Queen Victoria. B. King Edward VII. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. King George V. Answer B. King Edward VII. King Edward VII was the British monarch at the start of the 20th century, succeeding Queen Victoria in 1901. Question 20. Name the operation that led to the evacuation of British and Allied forces from Dunkirk in 1940. A. Operation Sea Lion. B. Operation Overlord. C. Operation Market Garden. D. Operation Dynamo. Answer D. Operation Dynamo. Operation Dynamo was the code name for the evacuation of British and Allied forces from Dunkirk in 1940. Question 21. What was the main objective of the Beveridge Report? A. To establish a free market economy. B. To propose the creation of the National Health Service. C. To recommend the establishment of a welfare state to combat want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. D. To advocate for Britain's return to the gold standard. Answer C. To recommend the establishment of a welfare state to combat want, disease, ignorance, squalor, and idleness. The Beveridge Report, published during Louis II, laid the groundwork for the modern British welfare state. Question 22. In what year did the National Health Service, NHS, begin? A. 1945. B. 1948. C. 1951. D. 1960. Answer B. 1948. The National Health Service, NHS, was established in 1948, providing healthcare services funded through taxation. Question 23. Describe the Suez Crisis of 1956. A. A financial crisis that led to a severe recession in the UK. B. A diplomatic crisis with the United States over nuclear weapons. C. A military and political confrontation in Egypt over control of the Suez Canal. D. A civil war in the UK territory of Suez. Answer C. A military and political confrontation in Egypt over control of the Suez Canal. The Suez Crisis was a pivotal event in post-war British history, marking the decline of Britain's imperial power. Question 24. Who was the first woman to be elected Prime Minister of the UK? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Theresa May. D. Indira Gandhi. Answer B. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher became the first female Prime Minister of the UK in 1979, serving until 1990. Question 25. What was the main issue addressed by the Good Friday Agreement? A. The economic union between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. B. The establishment of the European Union. C. The devolution of Scotland. D. The peace process in Northern Ireland. Answer D. The peace process in Northern Ireland. The Good Friday Agreement of 1998 was a major political development that helped to end most of the violence of the Troubles, a political conflict in Northern Ireland. Question 26. In what year did the UK join the European Economic Community? EC. A. 1957. B. 1963. C. 1973. D. 1986. Answer C. 1973. The UK joined the European Economic Community, which later became the European Union, in 1973. Question 27. What is the significance of the Battle of Britain in WW2? A. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. B. It marked the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. C. It was the largest naval battle in history. D. It led to the liberation of Paris. Answer A. It was the first major military campaign fought entirely by air forces. The Battle of Britain in 1940 was crucial in preventing a German invasion. Question 28. Who succeeded Queen Victoria on the British throne? A. King Edward VII. B. King George V. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. King Henry VIII. Answer A. King Edward VII. King Edward VII succeeded Queen Victoria upon her death in 1901. Question 29. Name the agreement that granted independence to the Republic of Ireland from the UK. A. The Easter Rising Agreement. B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty. C. The Belfast Agreement. D. The Act of Union. Answer B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty. The Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921 led to the establishment of the Irish Free State, which eventually became the Republic of Ireland. Question 30. What are the main responsibilities of the Home Secretary in the UK government? A. Managing the economy and treasury. B. Overseas diplomatic relations. C. Domestic security and immigration. D. Health and social care services. Answer C. Domestic security and immigration. The Home Secretary is responsible for internal affairs in England and Wales, including security, policing and immigration. Question 31. What was the primary purpose of the establishment of the Factory Acts in the 19th century? A. To promote free trade. B. To regulate the conditions of industrial employment. C. To abolish child labour. D. To establish the Bank of England. Answer B. To regulate the conditions of industrial employment. The Factory Acts were a series of laws passed to improve conditions for workers in factories. Question 32. What event is commemorated by Guy Fawkes Night? A. The Battle of Hastings. B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. C. The signing of the Magna Carta. D. The end of the English Civil War. Answer B. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Guy Fawkes Night commemorates the failed attempt by Guy Fawkes and other conspirators to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 33. What was the main consequence of the Glorious Revolution of 1688? A. The establishment of the Commonwealth. B. The restoration of the monarchy. C. The beginning of the British Empire. D. The cementing of constitutional monarchy. Answer D. The cementing of constitutional monarchy. The Glorious Revolution established the supremacy of Parliament over the monarchy, leading to the system of constitutional monarchy in Britain. Question 34. Who was the first female monarch of England? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. Queen Victoria. C. Queen Mary I. D. Queen Anne. Answer C. Queen Mary I. Mary I, also known as Mary Tudor, became the first Queen Regnant of England in 1553. Question 35. Name the king associated with the Royal Navy's establishment as a permanent institution. A. King Henry VIII. B. King Charles II. C. King Edward III. D. King George III. Answer A. King Henry VIII. Henry VIII is credited with founding the Royal Navy as a permanent institution. expanding its size and establishing naval dockyards. Question 36. What was the main economic change during the Industrial Revolution? A. The transition from barter to currency-based trade. B. The shift from agrarian societies to industrial urban centers. C. The end of feudalism. D. The beginning of the global trade network. Answer: B. The shift from agrarian societies to industrial urban centers. The Industrial Revolution marked a major turning point in history with the shift towards industrialization. Question 37. What treaty ended the American Revolutionary War, acknowledging American independence? A. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. B. The Treaty of Versailles. C. The Treaty of Ghent. D. The Treaty of Utrecht. Answer: A. The Treaty of Paris, 1783. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 ended the American Revolutionary War and recognized American independence from Britain. Question 38. Describe the main cause of the English Civil War. A. Disputes over religious freedom. B. Economic pressures from the New World. C. Conflicts between the monarchy and Parliament. D. Foreign invasion threats. Answer: C. Conflicts between the monarchy and Parliament. The English Civil War was primarily caused by tensions and conflicts between the monarchy and Parliament over governance and rights. Question 39. Who was the leader of the Labour Party before becoming Prime Minister in 1945? A. Winston Churchill. B. Clement Attlee. C. Harold Wilson. D. Tony Blair. Answer: B. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee was the leader of the Labour Party before becoming Prime Minister after the 1945 general election. Question 40. What major change occurred in British society due to the Education Act of 1944? A. The introduction of compulsory primary education. B. The establishment of the National Health Service. C. The legalization of homeschooling. D. The requirement for secondary education for all children. Answer: D. The requirement for secondary education for all children. The Education Act of 1944, also known as the Butler Act, made secondary education compulsory for all children in England and Wales. Question 41. Who was the monarch during the Union of England and Scotland? A. Queen Anne. B. King James I. C. Queen Elizabeth I. D. King Henry VIII. Answer: A. Queen Anne. Queen Anne was the monarch at the time of the Acts of Union in 1707, which united England and Scotland into Great Britain. Question 42. Name the battle that marked the end of the Napoleonic Wars. A. The Battle of Trafalgar. B. The Battle of Waterloo. C. The Battle of Leipzig. D. The Battle of Austerlitz. Answer B. The Battle of Waterloo. The Battle of Waterloo in 1815 marked the end of the Napoleonic Wars and Napoleon Bonaparte's final defeat. Question 43. What is the significance of the Bill of Rights, 1689, in British history? A. It formally established the British Empire. B. It recognized the rights of all men to vote. C. It laid down limits on the powers of the Crown and set out the rights of Parliament. D. It abolished the feudal system. Answer C. It laid down limits on the powers of the Crown and set out the rights of Parliament. The Bill of Rights, 1689, is significant for defining the constitutional monarchy in Britain and limiting the powers of the monarch. Question 44. Who were the main combatants in the Battle of Hastings? A. The English and the Vikings. B. The Normans and the Anglo-Saxons. C. The Romans and the Britons. D. The French and the English. Answer B. The Normans and the Anglo-Saxons. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 was fought between the Norman French army of William, the Duke of Normandy, and an English army under the Anglo-Saxon King Harold Godwinson. Question 45. What reforms did the Factory Acts introduce during the 19th century? A. The abolition of slavery. B. Reduction in working hours, improvement in conditions, and prohibition of child labour. C. Universal suffrage for all citizens. D. The establishment of the Bank of England. Answer B. Reduction in working hours, improvement in conditions, and prohibition of child labour. The Factory Acts introduced significant labour reforms, including reducing working hours, improving conditions, and prohibiting child labour in factories. Question 46. Name the Prime Minister who played a key role in establishing the welfare state in Britain. A. Winston Churchill. B. Clement Attlee. C. Margaret Thatcher. D. Tony Blair. Answer B. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee, who served as Prime Minister from 1945 to 1951, played a key role in establishing the welfare state in Britain, including the founding of the National Health Service. Question 47. What was the primary cause of the Peasants' Revolt in 1381? A. The introduction of the poll tax. B. Discontent with the monarchy. C. The loss of the 100 Years' War. D. Religious reform movements. Answer A. The introduction of the poll tax. The Peasants' Revolt in 1381 was primarily caused by the introduction of a poll tax, which exacerbated existing social and economic tensions. Question 48. Who was the longest reigning monarch of the UK before Queen Elizabeth II? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George III. C. Queen Elizabeth I. D. King Henry VIII. Answer A. Queen Victoria. Before Queen Elizabeth II, Queen Victoria was the longest reigning monarch of the UK, reigning for 63 years from 1837 to 1901. Question 49. Describe the impact of the Black Death on medieval England. A. It led to the War of the Roses. B. It caused significant population loss and social upheaval. C. It initiated the English Reformation. D. It resulted in the Magna Carta signing. Answer B. It caused significant population loss and social upheaval. The Black Death, which struck England in the mid-14th century, led to widespread mortality and profound social and economic changes. Question 50. What was the main purpose of the Enclosure Acts? A. To promote urbanization. B. To standardize the English language. C. To consolidate small landholdings into larger farms. D. To establish parliamentary democracy. Answer C. To consolidate small landholdings into larger farms. The Enclosure Acts allowed for the consolidation of common lands and small holdings into larger, more efficient farms, transforming the landscape and agricultural practices. Question 51. In what year was the Battle of Agincourt fought? A. 1066. B. 1215. C. 1415. D. 1588. Answer C. 1415. The Battle of Agincourt, a significant English victory in the 100 Years' War, was fought in 1415. Question 52. What significant event took place on July 20, 1969, that involved a British-born astronaut? A. The launch of Sputnik. B. The first manned mission to Mars. C. The first human to walk on the Moon. D. The establishment of the International Space Station. Answer C. The first human to walk on the Moon. Although not involving a British-born astronaut, this date marks the first time humans, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, both American astronauts, walked on the Moon during the Apollo 11 mission. Question 53. Name the acts that officially united England and Scotland into Great Britain. A. The Union Acts of 1707. B. The Commonwealth Acts. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Acts of Settlement. Answer A. The Union Acts of 1707. The Acts of Union in 1707 officially united the kingdoms of England and Scotland into the Kingdom of Great Britain. Question 54. What historical document limited the powers of the king and laid the foundation for the modern democratic system in England? A. The Domesday Book. B. The Magna Carta. C. The Bill of Rights, 1689. D. The Act of Settlement. Answer B. The Magna Carta. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, limited the powers of the king and is considered a foundational document for modern democracy. Question 55. Who was known as the Iron Lady in British politics? A. Queen Elizabeth II. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Theresa May. D. Indira Gandhi. Answer B. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1979 to 1990, was known as the Iron Lady for her strong and uncompromising leadership style. Question 56. What was the main objective of the Corn Laws in the 19th century? A. To regulate the import and export of corn. B. To encourage the production of biofuels. C. To distribute land among the peasantry. D. To establish free trade. Answer A. To regulate the import and export of corn. The Corn Laws were introduced to regulate the import and export of grain and to protect domestic producers by imposing tariffs on imported grain. Question 57. Who discovered penicillin and in what year? A. Marie Curie in 1898. B. Alexander Fleming in 1928. C. Louis Pasteur in 1864. D. Watson and Crick in 1953. Answer B. Alexander Fleming in 1928. Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin in 1928, marking the beginning of modern antibiotics. Question 58. What was the primary reason for the formation of the United Nations, and which UK Prime Minister played a significant role in its creation? A. To prevent future wars, Winston Churchill. B. To promote global trade, Margaret Thatcher. C. To establish international law, Tony Blair. D. To coordinate international space exploration, Harold Macmillan. Answer A. To prevent future wars, Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill played a significant role in the discussions that led to the formation of the United Nations, whose primary aim is to prevent future global conflicts. Question 59. Name the King of England who was executed in 1649. A. Charles I. B. Henry VIII. C. Edward VI. D. James I. Answer A. Charles I. King Charles I of England was executed in 1649 after being convicted of treason, marking a critical point in the English Civil War. Question 60. What is the historical significance of the Tolpuddle martyrs? A. They were the first settlers of Australia. B. They were instrumental in the abolition of the slave trade. C. They contributed to the establishment of parliamentary democracy. D. They were early trade unionists who were arrested and transported for forming a union. Answer D. They were early trade unionists who were arrested and transported for forming a union. The Tolpuddle martyrs case in 1834 is significant in the history of British labour movements and trade unionism. Question 61. In what year did women over the age of 30 gain the right to vote in Britain? A. 1918. B. 1928. C. 1945. D. 1969. Answer A. 1918. Women over the age of 30 gained the right to vote in Britain in 1918, a significant milestone in the women's suffrage movement. Question 62. What major social and economic reforms did the post-II Labour government introduce? A. The establishment of the National Health Service and the welfare state. B. The privatization of major industries. C. The adoption of the euro. D. The creation of the Commonwealth. Answer A. The establishment of the National Health Service and the welfare state. The post-II Labour government introduced significant reforms, including the creation of the NHS and the foundation of the welfare state. Question 63. Name the treaty that marked the formal end of Britain's empire in India. A. The Treaty of Versailles. B. The Treaty of Paris. C. The Indian Independence Act. D. The Partition Plan. Answer C. The Indian Independence Act. The Indian Independence Act of 1947 marked the formal end of British rule in India and the partition of the subcontinent into India and Pakistan. Question 64. What were the main features of the Elizabethan religious settlement? A. The establishment of Methodism. B. The restoration of the Catholic Church's supremacy. C. The foundation of the Church of England, with the monarch as its supreme governor. D. The prohibition of all religions other than Judaism. Answer C. The foundation of the Church of England with the monarch as its supreme governor. The Elizabethan religious settlement established the Church of England's structure, with the monarch as its head, and defined its doctrinal position between Catholicism and Protestantism. Question 65. Who was the Prime Minister during the Falklands War? A. Winston Churchill. B. Margaret Thatcher. C. Tony Blair. D. John Major. Answer B. Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during the Falklands War in 1982. Question 66. Describe the main factors that led to the decline of the British Empire. A. The rise of the Soviet Union and the Cold War. B. Nationalist movements in colonies and the economic costs of World War II. C. The invention of the Internet. D. The expansion of the European Union. Answer B. Nationalist movements in colonies and the economic costs of World War II were major factors that led to the decline of the British Empire. Question 67. What event in 1967 significantly changed British maritime policy? A. The signing of the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. B. The decriminalization of homosexuality in the Royal Navy. C. The closure of the Suez Canal. D. The loss of the RMS Titanic. Answer C. The closure of the Suez Canal. The closure of the Suez Canal in 1967, following the Six-Day War, significantly impacted British maritime policy and global shipping routes. Question 68. Who was the architect behind the rebuilding of the House of Commons after William II? A. Christopher Wren. B. Giles Gilbert Scott. C. Sir John Soane. D. Charles Barry. Answer B. Giles Gilbert Scott. Giles Gilbert Scott was involved in the rebuilding of the House of Commons after it was damaged during World War II. Question 69. What significant law was passed in Britain in 1967 regarding homosexuality? A. The Marriage, Same-Sex Couples Act. B. The Sexual Offences Act. C. The Equality Act. D. The Civil Partnership Act. Answer B. The Sexual Offences Act. The Sexual Offences Act of 1967 decriminalised homosexual acts in private between two men over the age of 21 in England and Wales. Question 70. Name the first black Archbishop of York. A. Desmond Tutu. B. John Sentamu. C. Justin Welby. D. Rowan Williams. Answer B. John Sentamu. John Sentamu became the first black Archbishop of York in 2005, serving until 2020. Question 71. What was the main impact of the plague on the feudal system in England? A. It strengthened the power of the monarch. B. It led to the end of serfdom as labour became more valuable. C. It initiated the English Renaissance. D. It caused the collapse of the Church's authority. Answer B. It led to the end of serfdom as labour became more valuable. The Black Death significantly reduced the population, making labour scarce and more valuable, which undermined the feudal system. Question 72. Describe the main purpose of the Council of the North established in the 15th century. A. To oversee the colonization of the New World. B. To manage and administer the northern parts of England. C. To coordinate defence against Viking invasions. D. To legislate for Scottish affairs. Answer B. To manage and administer the northern parts of England. The Council of the North was established to improve governance and administration in the northern parts of England. Question 73. What was the Swing Riots and what did it aim to achieve? A. A movement to abolish the monarchy. B. A series of agricultural and labour protests in the 1830s. C. Protests against the Corn Laws. D. A campaign for women's suffrage. Answer B. A series of agricultural and labour protests in the 1830s. The Swing Riots were a widespread uprising by agricultural workers in southern and eastern England, protesting against agricultural mechanisation and poor conditions. Question 74. Who was the first British monarch of the House of Windsor? A. Queen Victoria. B. King George V. C. Queen Elizabeth II. D. King Edward VII. Answer B. King George V. King George V was the first monarch of the House of Windsor, rebranding the royal family during World War I due to anti-German sentiment. Question 75. In what year was the Battle of Bannockburn fought, and why is it significant? A. 1066. It marked the Norman conquest of England. B. 1314. It was a significant Scottish victory in the First War of Scottish Independence. C. 1485. It marked the end of the Wars of the Roses. D. 1746. It was the last pitched battle fought on British soil. Answer B. 1314. It was a significant Scottish victory in the First War of Scottish Independence. The Battle of Bannockburn, fought in 1314, was a pivotal moment in Scottish history, securing its independence from England for a time. Question 76. What is the significance of the Domesday Book? A. It was the first English dictionary. B. It detailed the outcome of the English Civil War. C. It recorded the results of a great survey of England completed in 1086. D. It is the original constitution of the United Kingdom. Answer C. It recorded the results of a great survey of England, completed in 1086. The Domesday Book is significant as a comprehensive record of medieval England's economy and society. Question 77. Who was responsible for the establishment of the Church of England? A. Henry VIII. B. Elizabeth I. C. James I. D. Charles I. Answer A. Henry VIII. King Henry VIII established the Church of England in 1534, primarily to secure an annulment of his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. Question 78. What reforms were introduced by the Great Reform Act of 1832? A. It established the welfare state. B. It granted universal suffrage. C. It reformed the British electoral system, increasing the electorate and making the House of Commons more representative. D. It abolished the monarchy. Answer C. It reformed the British electoral system, increasing the electorate and making the House of Commons more representative. The Great Reform Act of 1832 was a landmark in British political history, addressing widespread calls for reform. Question 79. Who was the British Prime Minister at the time of the Suez Crisis? A. Winston Churchill. B. Anthony Eden. C. Harold Macmillan. D. Clement Attlee. Answer B. Anthony Eden. Anthony Eden was the British Prime Minister during the Suez Crisis in 1956, which proved to be a significant moment in post-war British history. Question 80. Name the scientist who formulated the laws of motion and gravity. A. Albert Einstein. B. Isaac Newton. C. Galileo Galilei. D. Marie Curie. Answer B. Isaac Newton. Sir Isaac Newton formulated the laws of motion and universal gravitation, laying the foundation for classical mechanics. Question 81. In what year was the Act of Union between Great Britain and Ireland passed, and what was its primary aim? A. 1603, to unite the English and Scottish crowns. B. 1707, to unite England and Scotland into Great Britain. C. 1800, to unite Great Britain and Ireland into the United Kingdom. D. 1922 to establish the Irish Free State? Answer C. 1800 to unite Great Britain and Ireland into the United Kingdom. The Act of Union in 1800 aimed to bring Ireland into the Union with Great Britain, forming the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Question 82. Describe the primary aim of the suffragette movement in the early 20th century. A. To gain equal employment rights for women. B. To secure the right to vote for women. C. To abolish the monarchy. D. To promote peace and end World War I. Answer B. To secure the right to vote for women. The suffragette movement's primary aim was to secure the right to vote for women, a key part of the broader women's rights movement. Question 83. Who was the first post-war Prime Minister to win a Nobel Prize, and for what category? A. Winston Churchill, Literature. B. Margaret Thatcher, Peace. C. Clement Attlee, Peace. D. Tony Blair, Literature. Answer A. Winston Churchill, Literature. Winston Churchill was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1953 for his numerous published works, including his 6-volume set, The Second World War. Question 84. What historical event is marked by the burning of an effigy of Guy Fawkes? A. The English Civil War. B. The restoration of the monarchy. C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. D. The Glorious Revolution. Answer C. The Gunpowder Plot of 1605. The burning of an effigy of Guy Fawkes commemorates the Gunpowder Plot, an attempt to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Question 85. Name the legislation that abolished the slave trade in the British Empire. A. The Magna Carta. B. The Slave Trade Act of 1807. C. The Emancipation Proclamation. D. The Abolition of Slavery Act of 1833. Answer B. The Slave Trade Act of 1807. The Slave Trade Act of 1807 abolished the slave trade in the British Empire, though not slavery itself, which was abolished in 1833. Question 86. What was the significance of the Battle of Trafalgar? A. It marked the beginning of the British Empire. B. It was the first naval battle fought entirely at sea. C. It ensured British naval supremacy for more than a century. D. It ended the Viking invasions of Britain. Answer C. It ensured British naval supremacy for more than a century. The Battle of Trafalgar in 1805 was a decisive British victory against the combined fleets of France and Spain, securing British naval dominance. Question 87. Who was known for their rule during the Golden Age of piracy, impacting British maritime policy? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King Henry VIII. C. Queen Anne. D. King George III. Answer C. Queen Anne. The period known as the Golden Age of Piracy occurred primarily during the reign of Queen Anne, influencing British maritime policy and colonial expansion. Question 88. Describe the impact of the enclosures movement on British agriculture. A. It decreased agricultural productivity. B. It led to the industrialization of agriculture. C. It consolidated small landholdings into larger farms, increasing productivity. D. It promoted organic farming methods. Answer: C. It consolidated small landholdings into larger farms, increasing productivity. The enclosures movement transformed British agriculture by consolidating land, leading to increased efficiency and productivity. Question 89. Who was the British Prime Minister during the partition of India? A. Winston Churchill. B. Clement Attlee. C. Harold Wilson. D. Neville Chamberlain. Answer: B. Clement Attlee. Clement Attlee was the British Prime Minister when India was partitioned and gained independence in 1947. Question 90. What led to the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland? A. The Act of Union 1707. B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921. C. The Magna Carta. D. The Norman Conquest. Answer: B. The Anglo-Irish Treaty of 1921. The treaty led to the establishment of the Irish Free State and the separation of Northern Ireland, resulting in the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Question 91. Describe the main achievements of the Social Reform Acts in the 19th century. A. They expanded the British Empire. B. They established the Church of England. C. They improved working conditions, restricted child labour, and established public health measures. D. They granted universal suffrage. Answer: C. They improved working conditions, restricted child labour, and established public health measures. The Social Reform Acts addressed various social issues, including labour laws and public health. Question 92. Who was the leader of the suffragettes? A. Emmeline Pankhurst. B. Florence Nightingale. C. Queen Victoria. D. Margaret Thatcher. Answer: A. Emmeline Pankhurst. Emmeline Pankhurst was a leading figure in the British suffragette movement, advocating for women's right to vote. Question 93. What was the primary cause of the English Reformation? A. The invasion of the Spanish Armada. B. King Henry VIII's desire for a male heir and disputes with the Pope over annulling his marriage. C. The signing of the Magna Carta. D. The defeat of Napoleon at Waterloo. Answer: B. King Henry VIII's desire for a male heir and disputes with the Pope over annulling his marriage led to the English Reformation, resulting in the separation of the Church of England from papal authority. Question 94. Name the king who established the British Royal Navy as a permanent institution. A. King Alfred the Great. B. King Henry VIII. C. King Edward III. D. King George III. Answer B. King Henry VIII. King Henry VIII is credited with establishing the Royal Navy as a permanent institution, significantly expanding and modernizing it. Question 95. What was the main purpose of the Commonwealth of Nations, initially formed as the British Commonwealth? A. To maintain British imperial rule. B. To coordinate defense strategies against the Soviet Union. C. To foster economic cooperation and trade. D. To promote democracy, human rights, and economic development among member states. Answer D. To promote democracy, human rights, and economic development among member states. The Commonwealth of Nations aims to support these values among its member countries, which are mostly former territories of the British Empire. Question 96. Who was the monarch during the Great Fire of London? A. Queen Elizabeth I. B. King Charles II. C. King James I. D. King Henry VIII. Answer B. King Charles II. King Charles II was the monarch during the Great Fire of London in 1666. Question 97. Describe the significance of the Stone of Scone in British history. A. It was used in the coronation ceremonies of Scottish and English monarchs. B. It marked the boundary between England and Scotland. C. It was the original Magna Carta. D. It symbolized the end of the Roman occupation of Britain. Answer A. It was used in the coronation ceremonies of Scottish and English monarchs. The Stone of Scone, also known as the Stone of Destiny, has been an important symbol of Scottish and then British monarchy. Question 98. Who was the Prime Minister when Britain declared war on Germany in 1939? A. Winston Churchill. B. Neville Chamberlain. C. Clement Attlee. D. Anthony Eden. Answer B. Neville Chamberlain. Neville Chamberlain was the British Prime Minister who declared war on Germany in 1939, marking the beginning of Britain's involvement in World War II. Question 99. What major legal and social change was enacted with the passage of the Human Rights Act 1998? A. It established the right to a fair trial and other fundamental rights in UK law. B. It initiated Brexit. C. It granted independence to former colonies. D. It abolished the monarchy and established a republic. Answer A. It established the right to a fair trial and other fundamental rights in UK law. The Human Rights Act 1998 incorporated the European Convention on Human Rights into UK law, guaranteeing fundamental rights and freedoms.